Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm curious, is the microphone working? Okay, I couldn't hear myself. That's on me. So again, Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be here this afternoon. What a wonderful, wonderful mitzvah I get to have to be a part of this afternoon. As we were explaining a little while ago with the family, in some ways we're kind of winging this today. Never before have we had a bar mitzvah of this nature. So this is going to be creative, it should be interesting, and a little bit of fun. So obviously we're here to celebrate Shabbat and to close Shabbat this afternoon later with Havdalah. We're also here because Mr. May has decided he'd like to become a bar mitzvah. Bob, if I could invite you to join me up here. And of course, Sue, if you'd like to come as well. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. Allow me.
Where do we start here?
Start with the English.
Bless Adonai, O my soul. Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain.
And the blessing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lehitatef bat tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. And as this is a joyous occasion, one to be marked in our lives, our blessing of the Shehachianu, our blessing of firsts. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehachianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives us life, who sustains us, and brings us to this amazing, wonderful moment. And together let us all say, Amen. We continue in our Siddur, in our prayer book on page 362, where we find Seder Kriyat Torah L'Shabbat, the order of reading of Torah for Shabbat. I'd like to invite Debbie and Jim Futch, daughter and son-in-law of God, to join us up here for the honor of opening the doors of the Ark.
This is a very special time in our service. It's called From Generation to Generation, and usually this is when the grandparents give the Torah to the parents, and then the parents give the Torah to the grandchild. However, we're going to do things a little bit differently today. The grandchild is going to give the Torah to the parent, and then the parent is going to give the Torah to the grandparent. And that is because that is the order that that is the order in which the participants have become bar or bat mitzvah. So we're going to call Eric Miller up, and then Laura Miller, and then our bar mitzvah, Bob May. What's also special about this is that Bob really has taught Torah to Laura, and then Laura taught Torah to Eric, but it's the opposite way for bar bat mitzvah. So we're going to all rise as we open up the Ark doors and take out the Torah.
אין כמוך ואלוהים Elohim Adonai v'yen k'ma'asecha. Malchutecha malchu kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitin, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim, hetiva v'rtzoncha et Zion, Tivnech omot Yerushalayim, Tivnech omot Yerushalayim, Kivecha levar batachnu, Melech eram v'nisadon olamim, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael B'Kidushato.
And this is the Torah God gave our descendants, and now it is our honor for your grandchildren and your children to give to you. David. We
David.
call David, Bob's son, who will be carrying the Torah.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlu Adonai Iti Unrobema Shemo Yatav, Lecha Adonai Hagidula, V'Hagivura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetzach, V'Yahod, Ki kol bashamayim uvaretz, Ki kol bashamayim uvaretz, Lecha Adonai mamlacha, Me'amid naseh, Lechol rosh, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, Al haTorah, ve'al avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim, Al haTorah, ve'al avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomedu od milchama, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomedu od milchama, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomedu od milchama, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomedu od milchama, Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomedu od milchama.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamabarak.
Baruch Adonai HaMorak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Ata Adonai. Baruch Adonai Hamabarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ta Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam. Asher Batu Banu. Bakar Banu, Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan lanu net Torah, Baruch Ata Adonai, Noten HaTorah. Yoshi Ashora,
Behoshua, Binu,
Binun, Lachalev, Ve, Yeha, Marim, Hatarim, Ata, Haaretz, Chalev, Batarim,
Big Dehem.
Betahem,
Yep.
Umam, Le Koladat, Benun, Israel, Lamad, Chavet, Haaretz, Sher, Babilanu, Ba, Latour, Taha, Tova, Haaretz, Ma'od, Im, Chavetz, Banu, Adonai, Ehavi, Haaretz, Atanu, Haaretz, Hazot, Aha, Utanu, Manu, Haaretz, Asher, He, Zot, Zavat, Halav, Zavat.
Take a breath. We're done.
Amen. Baruch ato Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, b'chalei haolam nata Baruchenu, Baruch ato Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. You did it. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
We now return to our service as we turn the page. Actually, we go the other way. I'm so terribly sorry. The bottom of 370, we find Hagba Ugalilah, the raising and dressing of Torah. For the honor of Hagba, I invite David May to join us. And for Galilah, the dressing of Torah, I invite Neil Miller. And as we prepare, I invite you all to please rise.
Torah asher sam Moshe l'ifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wayne, can you hear me all right? Okay.
We're just testing. Hold on. Okay.
Yesterday is history. We can't do anything about it, but we can learn from it. Tomorrow is a mystery. We don't know what it's going to be. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. I'm sure that the children of Israel had a similar thought while they were still wandering in the desert in the book of Numbers, chapters 14, verses 6 through 8. I just read from the Peshat Shalat Luka, chapters 13 through 15. Moses sent 12 scouts, one from each tribe, across the Jordan River to the Promised Land in order to conduct a survey assessing what lay ahead for the Israelites once they entered it. After 40 days, the spies returned with mixed reviews. Jewish men added another commandment: thou shalt not ask for directions. The spies said, we came to that land you sent us to. It does indeed flow with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the people who inherit the country are powerful and the cities are fortified. But the men said, we cannot attack them, for they are stronger than we and all the people we saw are men of great size. We are so small that we are like grasshoppers, and we must have looked to them. Yet the text goes on to say that there were two spies, Caleb and Joshua, who were willing to stick their necks out and defy the majority. The land that we traversed is exceedingly good land. If Adonai pleased with us, if Adonai God is pleased with us, he brings us into this land, a land that flows with milk and honey, and no fear then the people of the country. God is with us. Both factions of the scouts actually told the truth. As is land filled with giants, as a land that filled with walled cities, seem fixed, and always land that is consumed by its inhabitants. But it's also a land flowing with milk and honey, where God protects us. How can we be both? Simply, it is a question of perspective. Most spies were overwhelmed by the quote, both the quantity and those who already lived in the land of Canaan. But Caleb and Joshua were able to see beyond this and see the beauty and the greatness of the land that awaited them. They saw the glass as half full, while others saw the glass as half empty or broken. Perspective is how we view life and the world in your life. I was once asked by a bar mitzvah boy if he had started shaving. He said, yes, I've been shaving for 2 years and cut myself both times. Unlike younger bar mitzvah boys, I had the unique opportunity or a different perspective. As I stand here today, not only to look forward to what lies ahead of me, but also reflect back on the life that I have already lived and the life lessons I have learned along the way. When I was younger, I remember my mother and grandmother lighting the Shabbat candles and speaking Yiddish. They taught me the importance of heritage and Judaism. Thank you. I think of my father, who had a 10th grade education, who was retired at 28 years old. He had a Pabst Blue Ribbon distributorship, he had apartments with his father, and he had a farm, and he was all set for life. Then the Depression hit, and as everyone else in the area, in that era, lost everything. He took our family from Chicago to Los Angeles, where my mother's family lived. From this, I learned that families help each other. My father had 3 jobs in order to support us. In the morning, from 7 a.m. to noon, he worked in a fruit stand. In the afternoon, he had a checker dry cleaning route. And at night, he sold John Hancock life insurance. He worked. After 2 years, we moved to Miami. It took us 4 weeks to get there. No AAA, no Holiday Inns, no Route 66. Once there, my father went to work for a company owned by one of my uncles, and here again, families helping each other. My dad worked hard, and several years later, we moved to Hollywood, Florida, where my dad's hard work paid off. He ran a successful business of his own, and as I look back now, I'm sure my father was an example of a hardworking man with good ethics and principles. I learned a lot from him. I want to share 2 experiences with you from my working career that taught me about perspective. One is, she is in hot water, and the other is Paris for breakfast. She is in hot water and Paris for breakfast. Some of you look puzzled. In 1953, a woman in her late 60s wandered into my small office, which was a tiny two-bedroom house on Tyler Street in Hollywood, just off Dixie Highway. I was a mechanical contractor, heating, ventilating, air conditioning, and plumbing. She said she wanted a price on hot water. I went to her house in a poor section of town. She didn't have a phone, and not only did she not have hot water, she didn't even have a piping system for hot water. She had cold water only. In affluent South Florida, that's all the woman wanted was hot water. I worked up a price, got help from a supplier, and got her a bank loan from the Federal Housing Administration. And she was in hot water. I'm glad I was able to help her out. In 1985, a builder and I were on the balcony of a house in a fancy area of Hollywood called Diplomat Parkway. The house was nearing completion, and from our vantage point, we overlooked another house in a back patio where a family, a man and his wife were entertaining friends in the patio. They all had a glass of wine in their hands, and one of them said to the other, "Let's do something this weekend. Let's do something different this weekend. Let's go to Paris for breakfast." And they probably did. The woman from 1953 had a different perspective on life than the wealthy couple perhaps going to Paris. She wanted a basic element of comfort. Some would argue a necessity, while the other couple had more than enough. I've always valued what I'd work hard for, and that I have. Of course, the intangibles are far more important. Rabbi Lauren asked me to think about why I wanted to become a bar mitzvah after all these years. It's really simple. Whenever I went to temple, I felt like I was missing something. I didn't feel whole. I was uncomfortable and embarrassed that I couldn't fully participate. I wanted to be able to join others in a minyan for Kaddish or receive a Torah honor. I had no longer wanted to regret not being able to share of all these experiences. There's a lot to carry around, and I'd rather carry the Torah than all of that. My glass is more than half full. It is overflowing. I've got some years left, and I intend to make them count. After all, Lincoln said, in the end, it's not your years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. In 1955, a wonderful thing happened. Instead of eharmony.com, my Aunt Mabel and Sue's mother Fanny made a match. They called it match.com. I met a gorgeous, smart, and lovely person named Sue from a little mining town in the west, St. Louis, Missouri. We met in Miami Beach, and after a long courtship of 3 months, flowers and correspondence, and took her to Bayfront Park and went on my knees, and she said yes. We were engaged. Here are some of the 59 wonderful years later. To me, marriage is not a word, it's a wonderful sentence. After we were married, 3 daughters arrived in the next 4 years and a son later. And then we found out what caused it. Our major accomplishment has been to bring our 4 wonderful children, Laura, Debbie, Diane, and David, into this world, even though I don't tell them enough. We are so proud of them and the way they conduct themselves and what they have achieved in life. Today is a wonderful experience for me, and I personally want everybody to know how grateful I am that you are here to help me celebrate this. I want to thank the rabbi, the staff, and especially Rabbi Lauren for all the help and kindness and support. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Amen. Where's the wine?
We're not quite there.
Okay.
I'll turn his microphone off now.
Not quite to the wine yet. Earlier this afternoon, before many of you arrived, we had an opportunity, I think I mentioned earlier, to have an intimate moment up here on the bima, what we call our family circle. At that time, we reflected upon the work that Mr. May has put into becoming a bar mitzvah. For some, it's 13 years, for others, a few more. And we said the Shehekianu and really took in the moment as a family. We blessed him for the last time before becoming a bar mitzvah. And now we'll have the opportunity to bless him once again, only this time having completed Torah, completed a portion of Torah, becoming a bar mitzvah. If I could invite you all to please rise at this moment. And Sue, would you join us up here as well, please?
May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's presence be with you as God has been with you for these 88 years. And may God's presence continue to be with you as you go on your way from this momentous moment, from now and forever. Together we say,
Amen.
Do I sit down now?
Not quite. If you could actually approach the podium, we do have a little bit of something for you.
Yeah.
Please be seated. So what a wonderful, wonderful honor this is frankly, for you to give to us. Bob, you came to us, what was it, 2-3 months ago, and you said, I want to be a bar mitzvah. And we said, huh? But I've watched you work diligently a few times a week with Rabbi Lauren, and we've exchanged words. I've enjoyed working with you and spending time with you. Thank you so much for this honor. What a mitzvah. We have some gifts for you. This is from our board of directors, from our congregation.
it's a fountain pen.
It is.
It's a puppy.
It's a puppy. No, I'm kidding. It's actually a Tanakh, a Hebrew Bible. May you continue to study for the rest of your life and learn and share your wisdom of Torah. We also have, because you're asking about wine, we have a Kiddush cup for you on behalf of the Men's Club and Sisterhood here at Congregation Dor Tamid. May you use this in great health, and may you know the sweetness of this moment whenever you use it. And remember this moment. So Mazel Tov and congratulations. And lastly, this is a certificate. What a beautiful certificate. Actually, Lori Jason, Lori, you're in the back, put in some blood, sweat, and tears in creating this wonderful certificate for you. Congregation Dor Tamid, in honor of your bar mitzvah, this is to record that Moshe, Robert Maurice May, was called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah on Shabbat, June 6th of 2015, the 19th day of Sivan, 5775, in the presence of Congregation Dor Tamid, here in Johns Creek, Georgia. Mazel Tov. Congratulations to you, sir. Once again, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bob, I just wanted to say you are every rabbi or cantor's dream to work with as a bar mitzvah student, because you worked so hard and you thought about this so much, and you wanted to make sure that you weren't taking any shortcuts, you weren't cheating, you wanted to make sure that the other bar mitzvah students would be mad at you because you didn't do as much as they did. And I'm gonna get a little choked up because it really was a gift working with you. I mean, it was my pleasure. And at one point you said you were gonna be sad when this was over. My response was, you're gonna be sad, because you were a blessing. a real, real blessing. And I remember you said you were worried that you were only going to work at this for 3 months when some kids work this for 4 years, but what you need to realize is you worked at this for 88 years. And that's more than lots and lots of people do. You raised 4 kids to be good, responsible Jewish adults. You have a wife you've loved. You've done everything you were supposed to do. So don't think you cheated, okay? You did lots and lots of extra credit, okay? We're all very, very proud of you. And for you to do this for our community and our congregation was a gift. So we thank you. And I will remember you as a highlight of my rabbinic career. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I invite you all to please be seated. In preparation for our service, as I said, I jokingly say we're winging it a little bit, but all kidding aside, we have the opportunity to be a little bit creative. And as we were planning this service, Bob said there's a song I want to do for closing song. And what was that song, sir? Accentuate the positive. So, take it away, Maestro. If you turn to the back of your program,
You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You've got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk up on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Then they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative.